The first day of Star Wars Celebration 2023 is over, and we've had quite a few announcements. I was trying to keep my expectations relatively low coming into the weekend because I wasn't sure how much would be shown in the panels versus what would be shown on the main stage or fully released. And while the panels did get a lot more, including a look at basically every upcoming show, even on the main stage there was quite a bit shown or talked about. Trailer wise, the big one is the Ahsoka trailer that has been fully publicly released. You can go and watch that. I'll have some footage thrown up throughout this video as well. But for the Acolyte, Andor, Skeleton Crew, and I think there might have been one other, there was actually additional trailers shown, or additional footage at least. I don't know if they were quite trailers, which you can find if you go out there and look right now, though a lot of it has been taken down over the last few hours. So hopefully over the rest of the weekend we might get a full public release of some of those trailers, but I don't know that I'd hold my breath for that. We never ended up getting a public release of the Mandalorian trailer last year, so I'm not really sure what to expect there. But the other big announcement, aside from the Ahsoka trailers, is that we have 3 new Star Wars movies that are officially in the works. There hasn't been the best track record of Star Wars movies that either get rumored or slightly announced, like the Rogue Squadron one, getting super deep in production. But these 3 seem to be a lot more solid. They are a very old Republic, 25,000 BBY movie in a new era called The Dawn of the Jedi. Then, if you go forward, you have our first look into the post Rise of Skywalker galaxy, really, with the new Jedi Order, which they've already announced will include Daisy Ridley. So Daisy Ridley was present on the stage. Everyone got to see her. And that's really exciting to see some of the sequel trilogy actors starting to get back involved again. Hopefully, this also means that John Boyega will be returning as Finn, and we'll get to see him become a Jedi. He's had some mixed opinions in the past on his potential future with Star Wars, but since this would be a movie rather than Disney Plus, it seems like he'd be potentially more on board with that. And he has expressed interest in returning if people like Kathleen Kennedy were involved. So hopefully, we're getting that. They haven't shown or said anything about that yet, but I'm gonna say maybe safe bet. But the third movie that we're getting is going to be in the Mandalorian time period, directed by Dave Filoni. So he's getting his own live action movie. So this is probably going to be kind of the culmination of all of those different story arcs in the shows like Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, and The Mandalorian itself. So probably bringing characters together from all that. My personal theory there is that this is where we're going to really deal with Thrawn. Thrawn has been shown in the Ahsoka trailer, but I think that's going to be more of the background overarching villain. I don't think we're going to be finishing Ahsoka, at least the first season, having dealt with Thrawn entirely. I think the other 2 potential Sith characters or fallen Jedi are going to be the main arcs, or the main villains for the first season arc. And I'm not entirely sure if they're meant to be Sith, like if those are meant to be red lightsabers or if they're meant to be orange. I don't know if that's just an artifact of how they're doing the lightsabers or if they just aren't intended to be red. They do look a lot more orange to me. So we'll have to see where that goes. But that seems to be the bulk of the movie announcements. They talked about that a fair bit at the panels, apparently. As you like, I'm obviously not at Star Wars Celebration right now, so I haven't been able to go on any of the panels. But from the information that I've been able to see coming out of those panels, it looks like we haven't gone super deep into what they're going to include. The Rey one is going to be about rebuilding the Jedi Order, as the name New Jedi Order kind of implies, and also the Dawn of the Jedi one is about the earliest First Jedi. So it was also a pretty big day for fans of Legends books to have the book's name dropped. We have both the New Jedi Order as an era once again. We have Dawn of the Jedi, which was another Legends book that is now the title for either the era or the movie. It seems more like that's the era titles rather than the movie titles. I don't think the movies are going to be called Dawn of the Jedi and New Jedi Order. There's a potential chance of that, but it seems to be more the eras that are going to be building around those movies. For the third one, in the Ahsoka trailer, Ahsoka calls Thrawn the heir to the Empire. So there's 3 in one day. Maybe we'll get some more throughout the weekend. But yeah, so I don't really know what to expect for the rest of it. I'm still trying to keep my policy of lowering my expectations on what gets publicly announced versus what's going to be either shown in panels or not discussed at all. So Star Wars Explained was at those panels, and they said the The movie talk actually came in about an hour and a half into the panel, so like right at the end of the scheduled panel time, and they went over for it. So for people who are actually at the event, if you want to hear their takes on some of the panel content, definitely check out Star Wars Explained, because they are not in my basement. I am. But show wise, we're really starting to see, I think, a lot of the announced shows already. So we've kind of gotten something from all of the shows that have been announced or scheduled. Because we have the Skeleton Crew content that was shown. There was the Acolyte. I actually don't know if I mentioned that at the start. There was some Acolyte footage shown. And this is making me even more excited for the Acolyte, which was the show that I was most looking forward to after the announcements. They seem to be doing a lot with aliens, which is really cool. That's something I've always really enjoyed, is when shows actually do make an effort with the alien characters. So it seems like there's a lot of that going around, and also a lot of Jedi. Like, if you look at the rest of the shows that we have coming up, other than The Mandalorian and Andor, you have Jedi as either the main character or as a big backdrop. And if you look at the movies as well, that seems to be the case there too, with the Dawn of the Jedi and New Jedi Order obviously heavily focusing on Jedi. Then you have Skeleton Crew, where I think it's been revealed that Jude Law's character is a Jedi. You have the Acolyte, where most of the characters seem to be Jedi or Jedi adjacent, maybe Sith as well. And now in Ahsoka, you have not just Ahsoka herself, but also the two new characters that I suspect are the main villains for this first season. So there's a lot of lightsabers that we're going to have coming up. And even the Dave Filoni movie, if it does cover everything from this kind of Mandalorian period, if that includes Ahsoka, then Ahsoka would probably be in the movie and maybe some other Force wielders, possibly even Ezra, who was briefly in the Ahsoka trailer. So now we've basically seen every single character from Star Wars Rebels in live action, or the surviving members of that crew at least, because Kanan, rest in peace. But I don't even think it's impossible that we see Kanan, if they are dealing with some World Between Worlds stuff, which it looked like in the trailer they might be, or even just flashbacks or recordings, because the version of Ezra we see is just a recording that Sabine is staring at, because we know he's still missing. But by the end of the series, you can probably expect that Ezra will fully turn up. And we got Zeb in live action in The Mandalorian, which I was really actually shocked by. So in the space of a week and a half, that's all of those surviving members that are in live action that we've seen, and Zeb was first. So I'll have more videos like this as we go through the weekend, and probably some individual standalone videos talking about things like the Ahsoka trailer directly, maybe breaking that down. I'm going to be trying to do a lot more of that kind of breaking down of these new releases as they come out. We do know that Ahsoka is scheduled to come out in August. We'll see how that actually holds up. I don't know if it's meant to be the beginning or end of August. I'm kind of hoping for the end of August for personal reasons, but either way, hope you have enjoyed the announcements from this first day of Star Wars Celebration. I'm still holding out for some potential video game news coming up. We do know that there is a Jedi Survivor gameplay trailer, I think, that's coming out on Sunday. At least the final trailer for Jedi Survivor is coming out on Sunday. So we'll have that. I'm hoping for maybe some more discussion of some of the games that have been in progress, because we've known about them for a while, but we don't know really what's in any of them. But either way, hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you're enjoying all the announcements in this Star Wars Celebration weekend, and hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.